Ben Roethlisberger had a nightmare of a game, throwing 5 interceptions for the first time in his career. He tossed 2 pick sixes 4 minutes apart as the Pittsburgh Steelers fell to the Jaguars 30-9. Antonio Brown did his part, 10 grabs, 157 receiving yards. After the contest, Big Ben said, "Maybe I don't have it anymore." Pittsburgh is now 3-2. The Jaguars are 3-2. Dylan, it kind of seems like maybe Pittsburgh plays down to their competition because you look at the first loss they had was to the Bears. Now you lose to the Jaguars for a team who we expect to be one of the better teams in the AFC, specifically in the AFC North. Surprising for Big Ben to play this bad.
This was a terrible game. I mean, it's not just throwing picks, but throwing pick sixes to really just put the game on a silver platter for a team in Jacksonville who lost to the Jets last week. So, this was – we're starting to learn certain things about this Pittsburgh team, and one of those themes has been playing down to competition. Another theme throughout Big Ben's last several years in Pittsburgh in general is they don't play as well away from home. If this loss came in Jacksonville, maybe it's, okay, it plays into that trend, but this is at Heinz Field. This is in Pittsburgh, PA, where it seems like that Steelers offense always has such a great rhythm. This was probably the worst game of Big Ben's career and just a nightmare performance that really leaves you scratching your head. Now, they're still 3-2.
Yep.
No matter what, they're still going to go in at least tied for the top of the AFC North, but it doesn't feel like that, does it? And for Jacksonville, they really took advantage of opportunities. If Big Ben's going to throw the ball around and be sloppy with his quarterback play, then you got to take advantage of that. And they did that. 2 big pick sixes that turned the tide of this game. Blake Bortles threw 1 pass in the entire second half because they were getting so many gifted turnovers and because Leonard Fournette was such a beast in this game. He runs for almost 200 yards, scampers for a big, 90-yard touchdown run in this game.
Yep.
So when you're getting that kind of performance chewed up through the ground game and you're getting the ball handed to you by the opposing offense and you're on the road, it's like, wow, this one's been gift-wrapped for us. So a nice win for Jacksonville, taking advantage of opportunities presented by the poor play of Pittsburgh's offense, but some real questions about Pittsburgh at this point. Maybe it's a saving grace that after everything with Antonio Brown, he comes in and has 10 catches for 157 yards, but it's all, to me, that's all in a comeback effort to try to just let's pass. And so much of that led to interceptions for Big Ben.
Yeah, when you see stuff like this happen for the Steelers and specifically Big Ben, it's just hard to see them as a Super Bowl contender.
Absolutely.
It's just hard to see how they beat a team like the Chiefs.
How are they going to go to Kansas City?
And those 2 teams, who have been playing phenomenally, how will they win their division? And Jacksonville, they have to be a legitimate threat in the AFC South. I know they're up and down, but when you look at what they did,
mostly up.
The defense is ridiculous.
Really
when you look at what they did the first week, I believe it was when they had the ton of sacks against Houston, and now to see what they did against the Pittsburgh Steelers, when you don't ask Blake Bortles to do a lot. You mentioned he only threw 14 passes in the game, 8 of 14 in the game, and you had that solid running game, a $181 for Leonard Fournette. That could be a winning recipe.
That is the recipe right there. If you can repeat that, they would sign up right now for getting 5 picks every game, only having to have Blake drop back 14 times and getting almost 200 chunked up on the ground from Leonard. So this was a great game for Jacksonville, but Pittsburgh, man, I completely agree. Going into the year, Super Bowl contender. Every year they're a Super Bowl contender. I've bumped them way down, and they are not a Super Bowl contender for me right now. They're a 3rd-tier team.
Jacksonville defense scored more points than the Pittsburgh offense. That is surprising for sure. Stadium, we've got all your updates, always on demand.